That could be quite interesting.
Folks, welcome to the Hotbox Show.
We're not.
And as always, we'll be talking.
Bang.
Yeah, that sounded coordinated like the Dankenberg Boys Choir.
Let's try again, man.
Welcome to the Hotbox Show. Happy quarter to Friday, and always we'll be talking leg dank. Much better, mofos. Folks, I'm so relieved once again to be sitting here with you, your beautiful people at home. We're all about to be grilled F. We're going to be talking some deep stoner vibes.
Yes.
And blowing off some steam.
Inhaling some things and then blowing off some things.
As we do.
So guys, this is going to be a bumper episode. In this episode, we fire up some serious gas, name the monster plant, and celebrate more women of weed. In this week's Zol poll, is Ganja being colonized? In Lang Dank, we got some buds courtesy of Knuckle Genetics, and also we're going to be showing off some of Fields of Green's new swag. And then in CBD&N, Botswana license goes up in smoke and dabs for Dumbo. We'll be taking a high five with Louise Maxwell, and wow, she's going to be telling us a little bit about her vibes and the Women of Weed campaign she's been running. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the survey, Growing with My Buds, another high five with Cheeba, and then Insta Your Gram, potentially 2.0 later. But for now, I'd like to take a look at this damn weed on the table so I can smoke some of it.
Ah, yes, please.
So while
Let's
Dan...
have a look at what we got here tonight.
I think you killed it.
Scratching for it.
Okay.
Died.
Died.
Never mind.
Yep. There it comes again.
So while Dan sets this up, this week's Zol poll, is Ganja being colonized? Sad but true. They can't take our freedom. Or Ganja has colonized us.
It's a thinker tonight.
It is a bit of a thinker. Oh no, we have to think tonight. Apparently we don't think.
At least it's not mathematics tonight.
No, the
Yes.
lawmakers don't think.
The lawmakers, exactly. So we've actually got a nice selection of ganja tonight and extracts and everything. Can we see here? You can see. I can't see it on the camera here. Huh?
Shout out to the big A for this peanut butter. You gotta say it like you're French.
That is
Peanut
some
butter. Peanut butter.
Dank peanut butter bud. We'll smoke it and see if it does taste like peanut butter.
I'm
But
curious.
the problem is now, like Buzz always says, because he said it's peanut butter, are we now placebo? Was it placebo? Yeah, placeboing ourselves into.
Or like subliminally putting the taste
Yeah.
into our head in a
Yeah.
way. Are we planting that flavor
Does
already?
Maybe.
it smell like peanut butter?
Well, don't tell us the rest of the strain.
It's fucking rock hard. Like it really is like
Tight F, bro.
tight F. Like seriously, I can't crush it.
Yeah, and when you crush it, it makes boom. Makes blacker, you know.
Then we got some nice. These are this. So that was the peanut. Then these four are from Knuckle Genetics. That's number one. We don't know what they are. We're basically going to be going through them, just so that everybody can see them.
And what's the deal? Why aren't they labeled?
So what's going to happen with these is the guys at Knuckle Genetics have basically put together strains, whole lot of strains that they want to dedicate to Jules, in memory of Jules. And once we've found the one that we pretty much think mostly represents what we think he liked, from all the smoking we've done with them and everything, we kind of have an idea. I think what they're going to do is they're going to take the seeds and sell them, but all the proceeds that come from those seeds will go to Fields of Green. So he's doing a dedication back to Fields of Green with his genetics.
And the strain will be named after him.
And the strain will be named after Jules, so this will be the Jules strain from Knuckle Genetics, one of these ones that we're going to choose from this range. He's narrowed it down to these four, which he obviously has decided that he likes, and then we're going to go through these these four and see.
Is there any way we can see 4 of them next to each other in your hand?
Okay,
there,
so
Dan?
let me.
Let's put them side by side, because you oaks at home are also gonna. We're not sure how we're gonna figure this out, but by your commenting in that, you also get a vote, because a lot of you knew the oak.
Looks is not everything.
But this is gonna have to be based on looks for all y'all at home. So.
Yeah.
But that's very cool of Knuckle Genetics, because these dudes are also some OGs with the dank buds. And guys, we've put the link in the bottom, because Knuckle Genetics already has seeds available at
Yes.
certain local retailers.
Yes, they do. And I mean, look at this stuff. It's absolutely amazing.
Get it out the jar, yeah. Hold on. Last one.
No, it's all right.
Can't
We're all
wait to
waiting
wrap
for
my
it to
lungs
come in.
around that.
I smoked a knuckle cookie dough the other day that
Ooh,
blew
that
my
knuckle
mind.
cookie dough blew my mind. Yeah. That was
Is it
awesome.
called knuckle dough? What is it called?
Cookie
Cookie
dough.
dough blew my mind.
No,
No, no.
Because you both.
But it did.
But it did, yeah.
That's just the payoff
Okay,
line.
so
Cookie
that's
dough and
number
knuckle.
4. 3, those 2 buds there, 2 and 1. Okay.
They're all very different, I'll say that much.
Yeah, they are. Look at that, hey?
Just on look number 3.
Yeah, number 3's got the pubage, eh?
Yeah.
Gang
So
ginger
if you
pubes.
like colours, number 3 is
Yeah.
doing well. If you like it
Colours.
knuckling, you got number 4. If you like it,
Hey,
We don't
number
know what-
1 also not
Number
bad.
1.
Nothing wrong with number 1 there.
Yo, but number 4 has got big knuckles, big calyxes, eh?
Y'all are just not picking on number 2 because it's too small little buds there. That's not their fault.
Frosty.
well, it is their fault.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
their fault.
It's their-
it
no,
didn't take a big
different
enough
No, I
That's
one
didn't.
up.
That's what they were.
It's not
They were the
stacking like
inferior
that.
plant that could only put out so big.
I think there's one thing that Jules liked and he cannot lie.
Yes.
Big buds.
Big
He
buds.
likes Big buds.
He loved them big buds and them colourful buds. I remember he loved them colourful ones. So let's put those like that. So that's the buds that we have to play with tonight.
And
Cool,
didn't he
any-
also enjoy a good old sativa?
Then
Yeah, he liked
Yes,
the
he did.
sativa, eh?
The real colored
But we don't
buds, not
judge
the
either. All buds matter,
Photoshop
bro.
ones from
All
Instagram.
buds
All
matter.
buds matter.
All
Oh, all
That
buds
looks
matter.
gorgeous. What is that, Dan?
just some joint hash. That's joint hash.
Joint hash.
Then we've got a pile of sand.
Some
Sugared honey.
It does. It looks like crystallized honey.
It's one big bloody.
It's bright like almost neon, eh?
It looks like trouble with a capital
That's
T.
what it
no, I can tell you it
HC.
is trouble.
Bit of a
It's
turmeric
definitely
vibe.
trouble.
Oh, look
We've
at
really
that.
got some of that in our bloodstream, right, Dale?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
A little
Nice.
too much.
Yo, Dan. With the close up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this has been separated from the terpenes. It's literally. Well, I mean, there is a lot of terpenes
And
there.
South
but
Africa
it's
Jules.
a lot of THCA right
We
there.
hate Louise.
What do you?
Yeah.
Sure. So we kind of
Yeah.
like overloaded with stuff. Let's get really high tonight.
Let's do it. Let me just.
Yeah,
Dab
go for it. You
whatever's
dab.
on
You
here.
dab that. You dab that. Sure. We've got people screaming on the chat here.
Yeah, so before we get into our first high five guests of the evening, Louise and the woman of weed, Dan, do a couple of high shout outs there, high five the crowds there, man.
Okay, so we got YouTube here. We got Gerber the Gardener, Alwe Jelemensa, Melissa Heinrichsen, Justin Werner, Stone Yoda 420, Lou Bell,
We're Claire Mary Fisser on Facebook.
Dusty Gross.
That's it.
Hey, Darcy.
That's it, eh?
Lekker.
Yeah.
Lekker to see all your own.
Thanks a lot for joining, guys.
So before we get on to our first high five guests of the evening, please remember to vote in this week's Zol poll. It's only on Facebook, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. So YouTube doesn't like the polls anymore. Is Ganja being colonized? Sad but true. They can't take our freedom, or Ganja is colonizing us. Please remember, like, share, subscribe. We're going to be showing us some Fields of Green swag, another high five, growing with all my buds that later, and even some controversy because someone tuned us we're lank cuck. So we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
By
But
colonization,
thanks for the attention.
by colonization, are you talking about like these foreign investors coming and planting their huge crops here
lands.
Pretty
and
much.
exploiting our land
Mm.
and our,
Exploiting this opportunity.
yes.
The foreigners.
Okay, so we're gonna
the
start
Buitenlanders.
Let me roll 3 fat joints of number 1. Start passing them around.
No.
Cool, man.
Okay.
So a few of us here have met Louise before. Joe, you say you've met her.
I met her at the Durban Cannabis Expo.
Yes.
She's an absolute honey. I think she's just super adorable. She's a damn hard worker.
I think I was with you. I remember.
Yeah, we sat on the couch there at the stand and had like a conversation, and she's just got this beautiful, amazing, bright, boundless,
energy.
bubbly energy, and she sat down and felt like family immediately. She's one of those people, so I'm really excited to chat to her tonight because she's been busy.
Yes. Dan, we also met her at, I remember Krithi had that event before the Cannabis Expo.
Yes, I
Was
remember we
it
went
called
there,
the Durban Canacon or something?
Canacon.
Canacon.
That was
We
it.
also met her there, so this chick's definitely been getting her around, making a lot of impressions and that. Do we have her?
Yeah.
Louise, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
She
We
must
also
mute.
met her there, so this chick's definitely
Can you mute?
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
We want to see you mute.
Smell that. You're on the table. Smell that.
Oh my, that smells a bit.
Yeah, go for it.
We can see you and hear you.
Welcome.
Just do it here on top.
We're just busy smelling this weed. Give us a second because it's absolutely breathtaking.
That's nice. That's one,
Worth giving.
Good go.
one at a time. And we'll keep rolling and coming around.
Right. Lou, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, Louise,
Wonderful.
this last weekend,
Yes.
you had there were a series of gatherings around the country. Some were called High Chai, Ladies Tea, something. Yours was called
Yes.
Women of Weed.
That's right.
Tell
yes.
us about it.
Alright, yes, so the idea initially was birthed by Mary Jo. She's the 420 chef. She's also known online and that. And she just thought it would be a good idea for a few ladies across South Africa would get together on a Saturday and do something for women in the weed industry, or not necessarily in the weed industry, but who were kind of curious, who had businesses and things like that. So anyway, they did the hot chai tea. They did that Belito. I think there was one in Joburg in Cape Town. I did something different. I went with Wow, Women of Weed, and mine was more aimed at literally focusing on women who are trying to come up in the industry, whether they be users of cannabis or whether they have a little cannabis business, and then to invite ladies who were interested in cannabis and to show them a different side, like that you can be a user, you can be functional, you can run a good business. And it really was, it was fantastic. I was blown away.
That's amazing. How many speakers did you have at your event?
I think we had about 8.
Wow.
And all the ladies were very, very new to speaking. This was their first event they'd ever spoken at. We had literally, ladies were shaking.
Of course.
We had to give them a couple of shots of CBD oil, some other little goodies, just to calm their nerves. But they were so keen because they also want to follow their little dreams. So, they knew they had to do something different in order to make that happen. And I was so proud of them, so proud.
Oh, that is so exciting. That's
awesome.
really
Yeah,
exciting,
yeah, it is.
hey?
Kind of pushing women to step out the cannabis closet as well,
Absolutely. Like, step up. Stop
Yeah.
saying, oh, the guy's this, the guy's that. If you want something, do it. Don't wait for somebody else to come and do it for you. Be a woman, be a leader. If you want to be the best grower, then go and do what you got to do the research, become the best grower. If you want to, do extracts. I mean, come on. There's ladies that are doing fantastic things in extracts, but they just stay a little bit in the shadows. So don't be afraid, just, hey, it's time to shine.
It is.
Yeah, be more than ambitious.
It is.
It is.
And was there anything unique that was spoken about or different from the usual?
Yeah, what was fresh?
I'll be very honest. It was even though we had 50 ladies, it was very personal and intimate because ladies shared stories on a very, very personal level. And I think that was quite unique. And ladies felt so safe. I mean, they just felt so safe and so comfortable to be able to open up and share very intimate stuff. And I think that is different. That is different.
It is. We feel that we can open up more when it's just us girls
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Yes, you
It's
know,
gonna be the new.
nothing
like,
against the Oaks. I mean, it's just that I think, like with anything, you know, sometimes it is nice just to hang with the girls and you can share your dreams and you can have your little moan and you can let your hair down. And, you know, sometimes it leads to tears and you don't want everybody just to see you crying, but your girlfriends are all right, you know. But yeah, there'll definitely be stuff for the guys as well because, yeah, they were keen as well. We had Oaks that were planning to come all dressed up in drag.
That's so sweet. What functions are you
Yeah.
planning anything else for future?
Well, I'm doing a follow-up session with my ladies because it's always, I love feedback from people because it's always good to know where you can improve. So we're going to definitely be having something in about 2 weeks. And then I do know that there is something planned for September. We're looking at September, but across KZN. But as the details unfold, then I'll definitely share on all the platforms. So, yeah,
That's
just keep your
amazing.
peepers open in the cannabis groups.
That's amazing. Look, I'm loving watching how vibrant KZN has become. When I first joined Fields of
Absolutely.
Green back in 2014, I travelled down to Bobby was hosting something in a park, like a get together in the park, and it was
Yes.
like not many people that came, and it was like Jules used to say, "Oh, but Durban they don't
Yeah.
pull up. You know, they've gone to the beach
They don't.
or they're sitting in the aircon. It's like." But Durban,
Yeah.
KZN, we love you guys. Thank you for like, digging deep and pulling through. It's amazing.
Well,
to see.
absolutely. Yeah, and you know, the thing is, if you want to do it, that's what I say to the people. Don't wait for anybody else. Do it. Just choose to do it. Reach out to people. You can reach out to me. I can even say to the ladies, if you have a crazy idea, you know, just reach out. We've got places that are safe that we can gather, little clubs. You know, I belong to like a little club that is unique and safe. I don't know, can I give them a little shout out? Would I be allowed to?
Anyone I think this is the part of the show where you shout out any Facebook pages, clubs, anywhere where people
Okay.
can find out more.
Links.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah.
Link us.
Well, yeah. So if you actually wanna follow more, you must follow me, the Green Hobbit. Instagram's always a good one. My little club that I hang out is at Rooftop 420. They were so cool on the day. They opened the house up to me, and they will open up the house to anybody. You just gotta ask.
Of course.
So there are people that are willing to work with us in the industry. You just got to reach out. So don't be shy, man. Reach out. And then all my ladies on the day. Yeah, I mean, there's too many to mention, but follow me. You'll find out who they are. Yeah, I don't know what more else I can say, but just thank you for this opportunity, and know that cannabis can help South Africa.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Louise, thank you very much for joining us. Could you maybe answer our poll question? Do you think weed is being
Please.
colonized?
Colonized as in internationals coming in, changing the vibe, taking our business.
Yeah, it's pulling a van ribbe.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think it is. I do think it is. A big percentage of it. That's why we've got to create what we want in South Africa for South Africans. You know, so that's why people need to start stepping up more and saying, look, I really do believe we've got to keep it in-house.
Yeah.
I don't like that it's getting, like stuff is getting exported to be re-imported and all that other nonsense.
Well, let's
I know
still
sometimes
arrest
we've got
us.
to go that route, but you know, we've got to keep it in-house. We've got to make it local, support your guys locally in your provinces, you know. Yes, and support the small businesses, because that's how cannabis is going to help South Africa, not these huge companies coming in and taking up huge chunks of the economy away from everybody.
Yeah,
You know, because there's so much power. There's
There
so
is.
much power.
there is.
We all can get in that pie.
Besides pot pie.
Unleash the power.
Yeah, man.
Lou, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you have an irie evening, and please stay lit, eh?
I will. Thank you guys. Be awesome. Be blessed. Be well.
Love
Thank
you,
you.
buds.
Cheers.
Love
Bye.
you guys. Cha. Bye.
Oh man,
That's
I'm
cool.
I'm so proud of KZN. They really have just gone from like
But
coming in the back and they're like taking over in the lead.
But they definitely seem like even in the news or in any kind of legal front, they seem to be the one that's pushing hard with the
Yeah.
guys down there. They are pushing
They
hard.
are pushing hard. The
They're
last
pushing
couple of
boundaries.
years, they've really come up, and it's so beautiful to
Along
see.
with Eastern
That's
Cape.
even Dagga struck gold.
There we go.
KZN, bruh, they've been poison and all
The
that shit.
poison.
Gold until it was found to be fool's gold.
Pyrite.
Pyro.
Right.
Should we do some more shout outs? I see a lot of oaks on the chat there,
Russ
guys.
is in.
Oh, Smoke Machine.
Away,
So,
Russ.
Charles going to have to help us out with our next guest because our next guest has gone dark a bit, but we'll hook it all up. We're going to be speaking to Cheeba about their webinars at about 7:30ish. Please remember to vote in this week's Zol poll. Is Ganja being colonized? Sad but true. They can't take our freedom, or Ganja's colonizing us. Like, share, subscribe. Hashtag HotBoxShow. Hashtag HotBoxShow ZA. But we're going to talk about that later because we might pew them.
I want to quickly do some Facebook shout outs. Cindy,
Yes.
Cindy
Go on, go on.
Damini, Abigail Suwan, Jordan Curls, Swaziland in the house.
Away, Jordan.
Neil Ragnar Lochbook Yates, aware bro, and Ty Lopez too.
Yeah.
You just said
How's it
it.
High school
going?
teacher, what's up? Yo, they're jumping in hot now. Everyone's coming in. Tom Kelly from Hout Bay. We got George in the house. We got KZN. We got East London. Yo, we're cruising.
Yeah, we
Everywhere.
got Yellow, we got
Everyone.
Brian, we got lots of oaks from all over the globe, eh?
Away,
So,
Alligators!
Guys, before we try and get into our next guest, I think we should just take a minute to say thank you to a lot of people because Suresh also just brought it up in the chat.
Yes.
Apparently, the Remembering Jules and Cannabis Can Help SA GoFundMe has just hit 12,000 euros.
We have.
So we
have-
crossed the 10,000 mark, which
Excellent.
was the initial aim. And we got some real liberal donations from great people. Eh? Buzz, have you
I think
heard who gave us some donations?
So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take a minute and scroll quickly through the GoFundMe because this is all public information and there's people that have made anonymous donations, which is cool by the pool, but there's also people who put their name there and people who didn't realize they could do it anonymously and put their name there. But we're going to take a minute to say a lot of thank yous, but I think the first thank you, even before we look at this thing, goes out to Jair Velleman.
Jay
Yes,
Velleman.
for pushing as hard as he has been pushing.
Hashtag Dabstars, hashtag Jair, bro. You've never had to do any of this, but the fact that you do, it makes. I've always said this to a guy like you. It's a small thing. To a place like this, you change a lot
Means
of
a lot.
lives.
We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, man.
Yeah,
It is,
truly. In case you weren't aware, Jay has said that he will match up to 10,000 euro, and today we hit the 12,000 euro, which means actually now we've got 22,000 euro.
Well, let's see. I hope it wasn't Jair that pushed it over there because I'm hoping that we do make him sweat a bit.
There was a significant donation that was made, and I'm gonna just shout straight out to Lax Lighting. They put in a significant donation. I'm not
Excellent.
sure exactly if it was today or yesterday or when it happened, but it was Nana and guys.
Because I checked
Thank
Dan's
you.
repping the Lux there, hey?
Oh, they're good. They're good in all ways. Lighting, people, company.
You can
Yeah.
get them from
Very
BioLeaf.
They're great.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get them from BioLeaf Tech, GT Hydro. I think they've got a couple of retailers.
Most of the retailers around the country have got them now.
Yeah.
Lux is cruising
And
everywhere.
it's not just a quality product, it's a quality experience.
Oh, and check out their short film on Instagram.
Okay.
Is it? We
Yes.
must ask them if we can show it sometime.
Yeah, I think it's on Fields of Green for All's Instagram TV.
Okay, great.
Dope F. Dope
Yeah,
F.
yeah, it's an amazing little story.
Cool.
Okay.
So let's do some thank yous. We're just going to do a slow scroll. I got my reading glasses on. Ricky Stone, shout out. Jonathan Taylor, shout out. Anonymous, shout out. Martin, shout out. Who we got? Lux Lighting. Yo!
Like I said, significant donation.
Massive
Yo!
shout out, guys.
I'm going to get close here, Oaks. Kyle Baker, shout out. Jordan, Green Smoke Room, shout
William
out.
Wallace.
William Wallace, shout out. Brian, shout out. Anonymous. Andre, Pap.co.za, Anonymous. Lawrence, Anonymous. Jamie, Peter, Tanya, Darian.
Everyone.
Thank you,
guys,
bro.
thank
Jonathan, Anonymous, Wayne,
You know
Richard,
that your 10 euro
Mary Lou,
counts.
Sean, Saul, the
DeVille.
Vil, Anonymous, Boom, Stephen, Selena, Thomas, Alani, Anonymous, Ken, Anonymous, Arthur. Guys, I can't even keep up anymore. Thank you.
You just keep
Thank
watching,
you.
guys. Look there. There's all the names. There's the people. That's the shout out. That's a real
If you're
shout out
looking for the link, go to Fields of Green for All. It's the first, it's there at the top of the page. or
No
on
ways.
any of our social media,
Covert.
or just go to
It's the
GoFundMe.
COVID himself.
Yeah,
Who's
Mr.
Jonathan
Breeder.
Covert?
He's a breeder from the States, actually.
No,
He's
I do. There's some names in there. I tell you because Jay also shared this, obviously,
Yeah.
and he's got a huge reach.
And like you guys can see, it's small stuff, folks. It's like a Netflix, a once-off Netflix for the cause.
we're not
I'm not
asking
gonna
for
guilt
hundreds.
anyone.
People can put
420.
10,
Every
420.
420.
There we go.
Oh,
But
look
I'm
at
telling
that.
you, the more you help us, the more we are going to make Jair sweat on Preston pain.
Thank
Draco
you, thank you,
Chaser!
thank you, thank you.
It's wonderful. Jonathan Church.
Yes, I didn't expect it to be that many. That's
Thanks,
crazy.
Jono.
And it's still more and more and more and more and more. It doesn't stop.
And it's
Because,
going to just do so much good.
Yeah.
Like, not even a word of a lie.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. It's real. It's real. It's because sometimes we do need not the money. It's not the money also. It's the validation. Because we sit here on this side in the matrix, you lose touch. After this lockdown, I think we've also all lost touch in a way. But this thing matters.
Oh, check. Mary Lou says, love the shirts you're wearing.
Are we ready
Thanks,
for
Mary
training?
Lou.
Good
Lots
people
of
disobey
thanks.
bad laws.
Yeah, should we do it?
Sorry about that. There you go.
So this is some of the latest swag over at Fields of Green for All. We'll do a quick punt before we get on to Trenton. Big thank you to Myrtle, because also we've been rocking the Hotbox swag and all that as well. We took some KIF pictures today and that. But Fields of Green and HotBoxShow are really upping their game in the swag game.
We are. We
Yeah.
are.
These are dope, these shirts. These hoodies.
Good people disobey bad laws. Hashtag cannabis
favorite
can
shirt.
help South Africa.
So now these available for people to buy?
These are available. I don't even know if they're on the shop yet.
If not, soon.
Like
They'll
the-
be in the shop in the next
the
few
box
days. If they're not there
arrived
already.
today, so like yeah.
And they're like summer long sleeves. It's a nice thing.
It's so
that's very-
comfortable.
Yeah, they're not even all out of the box yet.
No, if I come early.
So yeah, get some dope swag.
Get it more or less the same time.
There's the Fields of Green team.
That's nice.
Yeah, and big shout out to the Fields of Green team, eh? You know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes there, you know. It's not all bongs and
And this.
reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're allowed to smoke at work.
Not yet.
I didn't come
We
across
try
that.
real hard though. We try real hard.
I like that one so far.
Guys, how are we doing on Trenton? Is he around, eh?
We better start because I don't think he's got much time.
Yeah,
eh?
he's here.
Okay,
Cool.
yay.
Welcome to the show, Trenton.
Waiting.
Waiting.
He's in the waiting lounge.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Sorry.
Loud
Hello,
and clear.
hello. Let me start my loud and clear. How's everybody doing?
Good, thanks, and you?
Great.
All good, all good.
So tell us a little bit about your vibes and about Cheeba.
So, Cheeba, we are a cannabis company, so I guess that's the relevance. We consider ourselves to be a sort of a health and wellness company in the cannabis space. So we have CBD is one of our verticals. We have the Cannabis Academy, and then we have Craft Cannabis TV, which is our media and sort of edutainment play, as we call it. And the Academy has, we've got a number of courses that are all live and running at the moment. In fact, I have a Zoom class tonight. We've introduced extraction and legal into one of our courses, which is super exciting. So that's the first time we're rolling it out tonight. We just launched a bud tender course a few weeks ago. We have grow courses that we're working on and developing, and just working, burning the midnight oil, trying to do the best we can to bring really good, solid education to the South African market, which I think is desperately needed in order for the industry to grow and build.
100%. Education is important.
It is.
What has the response been like?
The response has been really positive. One of the challenges with any cannabis industry is that, or any cannabis company is, there are limitations on marketing on social media. We've become so used to using social media as a marketing space because it's so accurate and easy to measure. So the fact that we can't do that is, it means that you have to work a lot harder to get the word out there. But I mean, we've got guys in our classes from all over Africa. There's a guy who is a Nigerian guy based in Berlin. We've got someone from Ghana at the moment, Kenya, and then literally all over the country. So the beauty of running an online training facility is you can have students anywhere. And the response has been incredible. I mean, we have people every day calling us, wanting to do courses, and we're looking at the demands in terms of what people are looking for. And, you know, we get a lot of demand in a specific area, then we put that into course development. It's a new industry. You know, there's a lot of licenses that are supposed to be coming online, but there aren't people qualified to roll those licenses out. So I think it's going to be a bumpy year and a half for the industry. I think there's going to be a lot of people figuring it out as they go along. There's going to be a lot of people trying to grow crops en masse that are just going to fail. It's just the nature of a new industry. But the sooner we get onto the education of people and provide good quality education for as many people as possible, the better chance we have of becoming a global player, which I think we have the potential to do, but we really need to mobilize on the ground a lot more to be able to realize that.
And what have been some of the most frequently asked for sort of topics or subjects that come up when people approach you?
I mean, growing is really a big one. You know, everybody wants to grow, whether it's a home grower. You know, the fact that we can grow at home, you know, without being arrested, technically. Even though I know there are some issues with the bill. For the average person on the street that doesn't really understand cannabis legislation, etc., whether they can grow 4 plants or 12 plants at home, they don't care. They're just happy about the fact that they can grow at home. You know, from a cannabis perspective, there are definitely some issues with the bill that's being proposed. But so growing is a big thing. We're getting more and more people calling us about compliance. How do I comply? How do I navigate the ecosphere of compliance? And one of the challenges is, I mean, at the moment, you know, if there isn't a big shift in September, it's going to slow our industry down. We really need the government to move on legislation now. You know, they've had their time. I do understand we've come out of a pandemic, or we're still in a pandemic, but the reality is you know, the cannabis industry is screaming for this to move forward on an economic level, on a job opportunity level, on an export level. But if we can't sell cannabis internally, again, that's going to hurt our industry, because the opportunities to export cannabis now are starting to close in. You know, the Canadians have legislation in place that disallows foreign companies to bring products in because they're trying to protect their own markets. Germany's GMP standards are just too high for us in this country to realize financially, you know, and there are other countries who are starting to lock things down. So while you know, to get a license here, you need an Ofcon license, and those are still available, those are going to dry up very quickly. So we have to be able to sell product internally so that we can create our own CBD products, our own THC products within the community, so we're not having to import product. Because at the moment, you know, most CBD, any CBD on the shelf at the moment that has any sense of credibility has been imported from the States or Europe. There is nobody producing CBD here. I spoke to someone the other day who have produced the first batch of local CBD, but technically they're not allowed to sell it here. So until we as brands can buy local CBD, we have to spend money internationally in euros and dollars, and that's not going to facilitate the growth of our industry. Importing finished goods, we need to have finished goods on the ground. So those are some of the things we're navigating. Also, there's the legislation. I mean, we're running this webinar with Fields of Green, you know, you guys next week, on you know, navigating South Africa's cannabis future. We really feel there needs to be a lot more dialogue about how we can move this forward, how we can get momentum, how we can make sure that there are enough people talking about it. There are lots of, you know, the underground cannabis industry is growing massively. The illegal underground cannabis industry over the last 4 or 5 months has flourished, from edibles to selling flour. And that's an amazing thing, but at the end of the day, that's still an unregulated market, which means the consumer isn't protected. So if we don't regulate and we don't get our proverbial shit together, you know, we're going to end up in the same situations that they are in the States, where still the majority of cannabis being sold in the States is on the black market. So the opportunity is so incredible, but we have to embrace this properly. We have to work on the legislation now and turn things around.
Have you had any...
That's a long answer to your question.
Have you had any government officials joining your course to get a bit of education? or anybody in the
We
authority position that they call themselves.
we haven't, but we do. We have had authoritative people on our webinars. So we've had all kinds of people on our webinars, which we're aware of. We've had people from SAPRA on our webinars in the past. So we are aware that governments are looking at these things. But that's a good point. In fact, we should be knocking on the government's door trying to sell them courses.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I think that the important thing at the moment is, a year ago when we were looking at launching the academy, I looked around and I was like, there are no real cannabis experts in South Africa. This is like a year ago. There are a few, but you could literally list them on one hand. In the last 12 months, I have seen a massive increase in that, in terms of people being specialists, whether it's, whatever that area they've specialized in. But it's very exciting that there are people who I would definitely consider experts in the field. But what's missing is that formal education. So, I had a guy, a grower, call me today. He said, I've been growing for 10 years. I've learned all the stuff on YouTube, but I know nothing about the industry. I don't really understand. I understand how to grow, but I don't really understand the endocannabinoid system and receptors. And so we're like, well, that's the basic foundation work that needs to be done within this marketplace. Someone else called me today and said, I want to train my guys for this farm. I said, what do your guys know about cannabis? They said nothing. I said, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to learn about what the plant does with the body. It doesn't matter what level you're growing on. So those fundamentals, I think, are missing at the moment. So I certainly think that we've got to upskill on a fundamental level. And then the next phase of that is to upskill in terms of specialization.
Please tell us a little bit about your upcoming webinar.
Will it be open to the public, Trenton?
It's totally open to the public. All of the webinars we do are free. We're just trying to stimulate education, and at the moment I just don't believe webinars should be charged for. So they're all free. I mean, we did a grow webinar 2-3 weeks ago on genetics, and we had over 600 people on the webinar, which was amazing. Nice. So there's a great interest in the cannabis industry. Next week we have Gareth Prince, who you guys know very, very well. Stalwart of the fight for legalization. So super happy that he's going to share his opinion. We have Myrtle on there. We have a very interesting character from the States called John Kagai, who I reached out to a number of weeks ago, and he is a data analyst from New Frontier Data. And what's really amazing about him is he understands the difference between the models that are being rolled out in developed and developing countries. It's not a one-size-fits-all. We are not the same as Canada. We are not the same as France. We have a totally unique environment. We're also not the same as Argentina or Brazil. But there are commonalities, and to take those international models that are being rolled out, and then working with those into our own ecosphere is super important. So this guy is going to come on and give us some insight into that. We've got Paul Michael Kichel, who you guys know really well, who's been at the forefront of cannabis legalization from a legal perspective. So super excited to have him. And then we have Philisande Makanta from the Sport Network. Yeah, I knew I was going to get that wrong. Just to give us an on-the-ground perspective, because what's super important through this legislative process for us, and in our opinion, is if the man on the street, I know this is something that speaks very closely to your heart, but if the man on the street, if the urban farmer in the township, or the farmers in the Eastern Cape, or the 9,000 odd illegal farms that exist, are totally pushed out of the market will not work. It will totally, there will be an internal crazy revolution, because people are not going to stop selling cannabis. So we have to get on top of this legislation. We have to work on some of the models that you guys have been developing, and make sure the government know about them. So the webinar we're doing is really just to create open conversation about this space. We always do Q&A, so it's a good chance for people in the audience to ask questions, to unpack this bill that's out at the moment, to get a bit of a deeper understanding of that, and just to have these amazing minds in the same space that can give different perspectives, so we can somehow, move towards positive outcomes, essentially.
What I like is that you obviously understand that networking is also an important aspect. You're bringing in a lot of different people into the same sort of space.
Yeah, what kind of people sign up?
Ideas, which is very important.
I mean, there are all kinds of people that sign up. When we look at the stats of where people come from, they can be literally from somewhere, from Port St. John's to Bloemfontein to Pretoria, We have guys, coming in from Namibia. Like literally, there's a huge amount of interest across the country. And you're right. I think one of the challenges in developing countries is that we have a very short-term mentality. We always, we don't look at the long game. If you ask the majority of our population from different class groups, do you have a pension? Do you have savings? Most of the populace is living hand to mouth. So when we do business in this country and in developing countries, we're very short-term in our focus. So we don't collaborate enough. We don't work together enough. Everybody's kind of in it for themselves. And when we started this, we started with these things, the craft cannabis sessions, which you guys know. It was just about bringing people together, bringing people to network. This industry has potential to make a living for a lot of people. But without that collaborative space, without people unifying, working together and feeding off each other and sharing information, we're just going to stick one foot in front of the other far too slowly. And the reality is the world is moving forward very, very, very fast. There are other African countries that are bringing legislation in line, and if we don't move on this and we don't actually capitalize on this now, it's going to hurt the industry and it's going to affect us in the long run. But yes, you're right, it's all about collaboration in our eyes.
Yeah.
What sort of questions do you think Myrtle will get?
It's hard to say, I mean, with questions, they all come from different angles. I think, obviously her opinion is super important in this space. She has deep knowledge of the legislation, of the history. I really believe that her in particular, her heart is in the right place in terms of, what's always said about if the guy can't sell his box, at the taxi rank, then we haven't achieved what was set out to do. And I think that's the important thing. As big pharma move into the space and the corporate sort of venture capitalists move into the space, a lot of people are seeing it as a green rush. I was asked a question today, what would I say to someone trying to get into the cannabis space as an entrepreneur, as a business startup? And I said, first of all, if you're coming into cannabis to make money, please do not do it.
Thank you.
Because yes, it is an industry which is a prime for good growth, but it is a tough industry. It's like any other business. There's a lot of resilience that's needed. There are a lot of things to navigate within the space. So it is not quick money. And I think you're going to see a lot of people failing in this industry who come into it, are in it for 12 months and just don't have the stamina. And in a way, that's a good thing because ultimately the cream will rise and the people who put the work in will succeed. But I think, Myrtle in this particular case has a lot of experience. And I really look forward to having all these minds in the same space to really unpack this and get some sort of decent, opinion on what we should do.
Yeah.
And then, on our last question of the evening, do you think weed is being colonized?
Do I think weed has been colonized? Wow, that's such an interesting question. And that's a very interesting question. I mean,
in 140 characters or less.
Yeah, to a degree, hasn't everything been colonized to some degree?
Yeah.
Listen, colonization had its pros and cons, and there are those who said they had pros, which I disagree with. I think in my mind, what's more important is cultural colonization. That's something I always speak quite openly about. Is we've been colonized by the West for far too long. So I absolutely do believe that if we don't protect our own genetics, we don't protect our own environment. I'm very into Ubuntu and to being open, but I'm also into making sure we protect what we have, because, we've got lots of examples of good and bad, of the Chinese moving into Africa and capitalizing on financial colonization as opposed to cultural colonization. So I do think that the cannabis has that risk to be taken over by multinationals who have a lot of cash. But what's interesting is I think there's a really, really healthy craft cannabis scene here. And like it's happened in the States, because of the lack of legislation going federally, that's allowed craft cannabis within different states to really flourish. So I'm hoping that there's enough groundswell and enough people with real passion for cannabis to make sure that we minimize the sort of colonization of cannabis. But there's going to be a degree of that, and you do need the big guys, but they're always going to need the small guys on the ground as well. So hopefully we can find an equilibrium between the two.
Well, look, dude, I think the work that you're doing is amazing, and it's really sort of building towards creating an ethical cannabis community, South African cannabis community, which is fantastic.
And I sincerely hope the lawmakers knock on your door for a proper education before they write
Yes.
the
God
next bill. 'Cause
damn, they need
this
an
bill is like
education.
1 foot in the grave, my friend.
We need to come up with like a colouring in book type education thing that we can drop off at all the police stations.
I think Trenton should be
Yeah.
the minister of the Department of Higher
Education.
Education. Trenton, thank you very much for joining us. Guys, please go check out the
Thanks,
link in the
guys.
bottom. Stay lit, dude.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Cheers, brother.
Have a great night, man. Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Perfect timing.
Big important fact.
Yeah, we
Young
need someone to write a bill that's at least smoked a joint.
Oh, we have unmasked Batman.
Unmasked our technical.
Thank man.
Oh no! Oh no, that's cool, bro. So big shout out, thank you to Trenton. Before we get onto CBDNN, please remember to vote in this week's Zol poll. Is weed being colonized? They cannot take our freedom. Sad but true. We saw the stick. We saw the twig. Or yeah, I'm so grilled now.
We've had
What's been-
two of the options already.
Or Ganja's colonizing us.
The second one was
Ganja's
my favourite so
colonizing
far.
us.
Cool, man. So, guys, please remember #HotBoxShow, HotBoxShow SA, Instagram. We're going to hit that later. We're going to hit some Growing With Your Buds. We got some new nudes to talk about as well and all that good stuff. But in this week's CBDNN,
I must say, just before we get to that this number 2 so far, the second
Yeah,
one that you
was
saw, so
Can I-
the really colourful one was
Yeah.
the best one so far.
So far.
yeah, I'm going to get into that because I'm actually behind these oaks. So I need to catch up.
Made my face numb actually.
Yeah, you can light this one
That's
up
why it's
with
called knuckle, bro.
Yeah.
So, in this week's CBDNN, Botswana license goes up in smoke and dabs for Dumbo.
That's for dumb.
I know, dude. So basically, what happened is some dude got a license in Botswana, and it was signed by the minister of whatever, and he got this a year or two ago. And
That's
they
South African, eh?
South African guy,
Okay.
and they pumped money into their grow there, and got going. And a couple of weeks ago, the cops rocked up and pulled it all out.
90,000 euros worth of seeds
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
alone was invested.
Not counting the work.
Oh, hectic.
Ooh. That's
That's got to hurt. I mean, but I mean, is it legal?
Does he
They
have
say that
legal
we should-
So it's the
comeback
same
on
sort
this?
of thing. It's the
He says, she says.
it's the big farmer, the guys with the big money getting the license,
Mm.
being allowed to
Yeah.
grow and do their thing. Yet there's
Because-
still no solid foundation for the everyday person to smoke or to grow or to do
Yeah.
anything. So
And it probably wasn't a person from Botswana.
The
Foreign
minister,
investor.
the minister whose department issued the allowance or the permit or the license, or
The
call it
Department of
whatever you
Unicorns.
want,
yeah,
he says he was not aware that it was issued. So after he left office, he wasn't in the position anymore. So the department just said, well, they didn't know about it, so they withdrew it. But it also seems like the official that was involved with the knocks that did the raid was one of the people that was involved with the issuing of the allowance or the permit.
Two playing
So
both
it's
sides.
very strange. I
Double
don't quite
agent.
understand.
Seeds costing
Uh,
90,000 euro
But
loss.
the moment I see the word license, it just smells like corruption. So I'm not surprised this happened.
I mean maybe 9,000 euros.
90.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
should be
come on,
allowed to grow
media
and sell weed.
sensationalism.
No, but check what they wanted
But
to do was
seed
make
can also be-
5,000 liters of hemp oil a month, bro.
Their aim.
Yeah, that's what they wanted to do was make hemp oil.
Sorry, I can't read that
So-
screen.
5,000
Yeah.
liters is like 5 tons of hemp oil a month.
Yeah, well, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least.
5,000 liters.
Of hemp oil, that's what they wanted to do.
That's 10 tons.
Yeah.
But depending on what oil, seed oil, crushed seed oil, what do they want to make? Just
It's a lot of oil, bro.
It's oil, so it's
Either
probably
way.
seed oil.
Genetically
Hemp seed oil.
engineered-
So
It's
the
probably a
company
genetically engineered seed that they can
Planted
grow.
30
right?
different cannabis sativa seeds in order to assess which strain.
Hemp oil for Woolworths.
Seeds costing 90,000 euro. That I can imagine, bro. There's guys selling certified clones for $1,000 a pop.
And it's not like they're going to take
So-
your seedlings and put them into like holding until you sort it all out. They're not going to look after it. So literally they're going to throw them in the bin right there and then. You've lost it all. Gone.
Police uprooted.
And took them. They uprooted
Yeah.
and took them. But this oak says he's going to sue.
Yeah.
Says he's going
I
because
thought-
what I'm seeing now, because we're going to speak to the Haze Club about this as well. What's interesting is now that people are getting skin in the game, and something's been taken away from them by the police. We're
Yeah.
used to it. The police
Yes,
come, they
yes,
take
yes,
our
yes.
human right
Yes.
every time. But now stuff's been taken away. They're like,
Guys
whoa,
with
Schindlers.
So they're busting the legal
Yeah.
grows. So which grow is legal? You see, the license means nothing.
No, but you see, what happened here was apparently he got special permission. There was no special permission.
Yeah, exactly.
I think when they
Yes.
call it special
Special
permission. You know, bro. But also,
So-
that's the thing, because when you're playing in a game, when there's only one of a thing,
You probably
When-
defaulted
when
on
you-
the special permission
Yeah.
payment.
when you trip and stumble chasing unicorns, don't come crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when there's only when it's too good to be true, and you've got the only one of a thing, which shouldn't be this hard to
Unicorn
get. You've got to
farts,
be like, how it's like that
Really,
Bible
really
thing,
strong.
building your house on the sand. These oaks are building a house on sand.
On unicorn
glitter.
clouds.
On
Using
glitter.
using plastic and building on
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But then in the same breath, another story about Botswana says that there's now pressure to start allowing this sort of thing, to let the cannabis industry emerge. Because they say in Botswana, they have tried to kickstart other agricultural industries. So, and it's been a failure, a lot of them. Why even try with weed if others have been a failure? They're saying, if we do it soon enough, it'll be economically worth it. We'll get a head start. But if we wait, it'll never be viable.
But I mean, if they're saying everything else has failed, why is it all failing?
It's planting season. They need to
Dude,
make their minds up
Botswana,
now.
everyone, we all
Botswana's
have our
hot,
own
bro.
jam.
That place should be able to plant all year round, every day.
Yeah,
There'll be
they
there's
have
no
more
winter.
than
There's no such thing as winter.
least
there.
Wonderful climate.
There you're just pulling tops, essentially.
Yeah.
I wonder why. But it's, again, this is cannabis we're talking about. It's not vegetables and it's not crops. It's different. If they're saying they're failing at crops, then maybe there's just something wrong in the labor force. Maybe there's something wrong with...
Maybe they
So
need to
aiming for
revamp the
2021
Department of
next year.
Agriculture.
Because the term they use here a lot is cash crop, 50 pages, cash crop.
Yep, cash crop, cash crop, cash crop.
You know, but it's not just about planting it. We know there's a lot more to it.
No, what do you mean? No, that's the knuckle.
Because those flowers in that picture
I'm
is
gonna
not
grab
going to
some.
give you a cash crop. That's all I'm
Can I
saying.
grab a grinder and some knuckle there, dude?
GMO crops there.
Use this
Actually,
crop.
another
GMO
thing,
crops
yeah.
have destroyed the soil for years.
There we go.
Yeah, so Botswana's going through some heavy vibes. But then on a lighter note, Joe sent through a story about some elephant in a zoo getting CBD.
Yeah, I was
That's,
just saw that.
yeah.
Did you send it? Or did
So
you
they're
just
like-
send it?
I did. It was what happened is one of the it's an elephant family that live in a zoo, and one of the I think it was the matriarch passed away, and one of the younger ones was very depressed, and so they decided to treat it with CBD, and it's been working.
But how?
Drops.
But like, is it doing low temp dabs? What's the
No, I
elephant
mean,
doing?
I think they've obviously got CBD oil infused in a carrier oil of sorts,
Yeah.
and they may be giving it orally. I don't know.
The thing is, this,
Anyway, it gets into, like, it's the easiest
It's
thing to
just
get
all
into the body,
smells like,
into the
you know,
mucous membrane. Just
they're
put it
like-
with here.
Calms
Yeah,
the
that's
elephant down.
zoos, there's depressed animals. There's stressed
They should
animals,
all be on a
right?
daily
Now
regimen
they're
of
just going to be
cannabis.
like, right,
The
it's
zoo
fine that they're
animals.
stressed.
All of
They
them should
shouldn't
be
be in the
ruled
Yes.
as
There you
fuck.
go.
All zoo
Yeah.
animals should be high as fuck all day long.
No,
Sitting in a
animals
cage.
shouldn't be in a zoo.
They
Well, I
should-
agree with you. I totally agree with you.
No, it's
But
like
the ones that are there
consolation
should be given
prize should
the
be-
best dank, like, you know, high quality RSO, let them live their
No,
lives.
no, what should happen is that they should just grow the weed on the property,
Yes.
in every enclosure. Then they've all got fresh weed to play with.
So you're saying
The animal has the right to have privacy with
See,
his
he has
own
the
privacy.
flag.
So it's okay that they're in cages, but give them somewhere else.
It's a private space. No one's
I was gonna say,
That's
there you go. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is they've got
It's
their
his
own
space.
private space. Let him grow his own weed.
Yeah.
and I bet an elephant could roll big fucking joints, eh?
And we can use the dung to.
Imagine you've
for
got an elephant
fertilizer.
that could blaze. Imagine how big a joint you could stuff down its fucking trunk.
Trunk bomb.
Trunk bongs.
Oh.
Trunk dabs.
I would totally trust that.
Like you could attach a nectar collector to its trunk.
You teach it to do the lung for you.
Yeah, you're right.
A
Nectar
bucket.
collector
A bucket.
trunk.
Yeah.
You teach it.
You teach it, eh?
Stoner elephants with metal trunk tips.
They'll pick it up if you do it.
And then you
enough
let them
for
have their art classes where they've got pianos
Thanks.
and
Oh my god.
painting and
Engineering and
yeah, art in the park.
I could just see the elephant standing there, all proud with its plants growing lacquer and a sign there saying, "Fuck off, these are my emotional support plants."
Well, I mean, kudos to this place for even, thinking out of the box on this one and thinking of giving some
How much CBD
cannabinoid-based therapy to the plenty.
Well, there's the question. Good question.
Because
Well, there you go.
What
Think about it.
let's ask the question because someone's moaned before that we all mumble over each other.
Oh, we can
What's
do
the
some
question?
mathematics.
How much CBD would you need for an elephant? Seriously, because
Okay.
I've seen horse treatments and people working with animals like that, and they also need fairly high doses. They large.
A liter.
A
Isn't it
liter
like
of distillate.
Isn't it like 0.2 grams? Or what would it be like? Let's call it 100 milligrams to play it safe.
That's a tenth of a gram.
That's a tenth of a gram. So that's 0.1 grams for a 80 kg person.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll get me
yeah,
okay.
whatever. Just a bit
That'll
of
get me okay.
medicinal relief.
Decars.
So
Whatever, decarb. And that's 80
Times it
kgs. So if you
by
times that by 10, that's 800 kgs.
20.
Yes.
So
gonna
let's
have
put
to
it
times it by 20.
times that by 20. Let's
Yeah,
call
it's a
it.
ton, bro.
So then that makes it.
Fucking ton animal.
Yeah.
So,
But that's still small.
20
no?
grams.
No, it's not.
2 grams.
It's 2 grams. It's
Okay.
only 2 grams of
No,
oil
that's
that you're going to
fine.
give an elephant.
2 grams.
Yes, it's
And that will. I mean, if that's right, guys. We're not doctors. Listen, we're not doctors. This is our opinion of what we are saying
Do
here.
not work in
None
the
of this
zoo.
is based on
Let me know.
fact.
Yes,
I'll
none of
give you
this is
some
fact.
oil.
So,
Just
No, definitely try it at home. Fucking try it.
No, if you're working at
If you
the
have
zoo.
an elephant,
If you're an
Send us
elephant,
your
0.2 mils. Point.
so public service announcement. If you low-key Joe Exotic there sitting with your fucking elephant watching the show, stop cutting the distillate up into lines for a additional half firstly. And lower the dose. No, we don't know. But that is a validly weird question.
Imagine the size of the grab.
2 grams of 70% oil, I mean, it's a lot of cannabinoids.
yeah.
So,
As far as I know, it's just CBD
Should have said
isolate
in the
that they're
article.
giving.
didn't
So
I say?
it's just to lower the anxiety, and apparently it's worked, and that's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
The size of the grab rate.
2 mils of oil?
2 mils, yeah.
Yeah,
You take 2 mils?
Are you joking?
Yeah, that's a big banger, bro.
Yes, we should
Big
try it
banger.
one
Eat
night.
it.
No, but
We'll
you
try
know
it
what?
one night
Do
at
it with
7
CBD
o'clock. We'll
because that
take
can
2 mils,
cause liver
each of us.
issues.
And we'll see who lasts till the end of the show.
So let me tell you, come sit on Uncle Buzz's knee, let me tell you the story of Daddy the elephant. So this year has been a difficult time for Fritzia, a young female African elephant at Warsaw Zoo in the Polish capital. The zoo's 4 elephants became 3 in March, following the death of Erna, the largest female and elder of the herd. Erna's death left Fritzia mourning and put her under stress, so zookeepers noticed an immediate change in her behavior, and she attempted to make sense of life without Erna. She reacted strangely and so on, but since then zookeepers say Fritzia has displayed signs of stress. This has therefore been a huge game changer in every elephant group. Elephants might have behavioral problems when the structures of a group change. So they're saying when an elephant passes away, it's a big deal.
Yes,
Hey?
they mourn. They
Mm.
do. Yeah.
Remember, it's that saying, the memory of an elephant.
Yeah.
The elephant never forgets.
So they say the zoo's elephants will be the first animals to be given the CBD oil, as they are prone to stress and at the same time relatively easy to monitor. So they're saying that they're so developed that you can notice their increase in behavior very quickly. Given her recent behavior, it is thought to be the ideal candidate for the study. So they don't really say how much they're going to give it though.
How are they going to
Wait, they say the CBD oil will be administered directly to the elephant's mouth
Oh,
or mixed in with their food. Their health will be regularly checked through blood tests.
No sugar, eh?
So they say there's no THC in it. It's
Oh,
just CBD.
no, man, get that thing high.
And you're like, the elephant's probably jiving there. It's like, keep playing it sad. Keep playing it sad. They're gonna give me the dank. They're gonna give me the dank. And then ski look, it's CBD. It's gonna be cuck story.
The rest of the tribe like, dudes, drop your bottom lip, quick. Give me this nice stuff.
But yeah, it is interesting because do you know what? Why fucking not, eh? What's the elephant? Let's be real. What does that elephant
You
have
try
to
your
lose?
ganja, fucked up.
Eh?
Huh?
Yes, he'll try your ganja.
Yeah.
If he finds your field, it's over.
So clearly they enjoy it. You know, animals do
Yeah.
enjoy eating
Yeah,
raw
monkeys
cannabis.
as well.
So
Emil has done the calculations.
great, Emil, thank you.
African elephant is approximately 6,000 kilos. If we dose 20 milligrams at 60 kilos, then it's 2,000 milligrams, so 2 grams to dose the elephant.
Spot
on.
Spot on!
According to a 20 milligram CBD daily human dose, a 100 milligram will be a 10,000 milligram 10 gram dose.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dan gets the Mathematics
Mathematics.
Award.
And you know, we started off the show saying we weren't even going to do mathematics tonight.
Damn it.
We can
We've
always do
got our back,
mathematics.
though. Thank you, dude.
High five, Emil. So, guys, before we get on to Growing With My Buds and the biggest cannabis survey to ever be done in SA, please remember to vote in this week's Zol poll. Hashtag HotBoxShow on Instagram. I do want to speak. We got an interesting comment last week. And I don't know what to honestly say. I'm just going to scroll through it. But who first noticed this comment? Was it you, Charles? Who saw it and where was it? On our YouTube channel?
Which
It was one
comment?
of our tech.
It was someone who said that we're cut.
It's on YouTube, and it was one of our tech noticed.
No, man, Oaks, I'm scrolling looking for this comment. But basically what the dude said is he said, listen, you Oaks need to pull up your socks a bit. I'm here watching the show, but I'm not loving the show. We need to put more effort into production and. I don't know, how did you Oaks feel about that, eh?
From his tone, I kind of picked up that he wasn't really a stoner at heart, and that he didn't quite understand the plant.
Yeah, kind of got it also. We kind of have this laid back.
Well, look, I
you know,
mean, we've made no bones about the fact that the show is filmed still currently on a cell phone camera. I
And
mean,
nobody has to watch it. There's a lot of other good entertainment around as well.
And I think like Trenton as well, also with the interesting
Don't watch
aspect,
it.
we need to have more of like a, to the stoner community even, more of an educational point. We do, of course, but
Listen.
we need to get
This
more
is not
technical.
Sesame Street. We're not teaching kids to wipe their bum.
No, bro, but you wanna.
Not
you
what
we're
we
trying
do
to
here.
give helpful advice.
It's not what we do
and-
here.
But
So-
I think we do. We've got quite a, like a friendly
Sometimes
approach
it's
to the whole thing, I think.
Yeah.
This is not Sesame Street.
Friendly approach, you know?
We don't teach kids how to wipe their bum.
Not Takalani
We don't do
Sesame.
We're not educational every week.
Okay,
Sometimes
we
we just
we want that-
wanna wipe kids'
No,
butts.
if you
That's
want
fine.
that, there's people will do that.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
You'll watch their show.
Let's hear it from the
Do you have
horse's
any
mouth.
suggestions?
Let's see,
as
I think-
to
I
what
think
you
we've got
want
it.
us
Sesame
to
Street.
do?
So let's hear it from the horse's mouth. This is what the dude says. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not that kind of guy.
No?
And you know, I can listen to
No, it's
people's
public,
criticism. I would never,
Public comment.
I would never let them listen to you and make the laws around your couch smoking ideas when you guys are still talking about sativa and calling kef hash. Nomenclature, talking the same language in science should be our driving force. Unfortunately, this plant is tough, and even an idiot can grow it with liters of chemicals in a cupboard. We should be top 5 in research, but the problem is we have you fools deciding who knows more. It's like the blind leading the blind. I would advise you take a break and either get a producer to help you guys, but sitting here for 2 hours trying to make sense of what you guys are saying while your information on plant science is from 2000 and late. No, it says 2009, but 2008 would have been funnier.
Yeah.
Let's get experts and people who thrive in the world of science and not a dad-out dreadlocked gardener who tells you sativa is fire. And then someone replied, piss off Harry Hone.
So, yeah, he speaks of dreadlocks in a negative way. That's a bit funny, and I think Dan knows a lot about weed.
I'm going to say one thing first. Thank you for watching us for 2 hours, bro.
Agreed, yeah.
Share the data.
Shot a lot, dude.
We stuck it out to make sure we were consistently cut.
At least
That's
you- at least
cool.
you-
Keep
monitoring,
tuned.
yeah.
We will listen to nothing you say.
Does he want us to
But
be
keep
like,
tuned.
you know, I don't know, Drew Nye the bud guy? Kind of,
Should we
we're
all put,
not
should we all put
researchers.
suits on? Should we all
The
put
thing
a
is,
suit on, like as if we're going to work? You know?
Everyone's always got a better idea on how to do it.
So,
Okay?
dude, the thing
So
is
just
that
go
what
out
we are is
and
we
get
just
your good camera
ourselves and
and
down
do
to
it.
earth.
No, just do it.
We
Don't
just
tell
talk.
us how to do it. That's what Jules also said.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just do
Just
it.
do
We
it.
think we should do it in a
If you
different
want
way.
to
Then
make
do
a
it and show
different
us
show
how.
that teaches people how to wipe their bums, do it.
Yeah, agreed,
There's a
agreed.
market.
People will watch it, man. Fuck. I mean, that's why YouTube's there. It's a platform. If you feel there's not the information that you need, you put it out there. That's how it fucking works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go do it. Send us the link.
Yeah.
We'll trial it fucked up.
It's quite simple. Yeah.
Well, there is a lot of local content coming out. I mean, there's all sorts of channels and things. I still see people on various clubs on Facebook groups, discussing this.
We'll be
Let's
watching
make this
again.
kind of group and that kind of,
If you guys want to get all official and formal about it, go right ahead. We're not here to do that. We're here to have a good laid back approach, and we don't talk bullshit at all.
I don't pretend to know anything. I'm
You
gonna
talk a
learn,
little bit of
especially with
bullshit.
Growing with my
Come
buds.
on.
Well,
A
bullshit.
little bit of bullshit.
Okay,
You know what?
Just touch it when we're getting a bit too high.
We're not boring.
Can I tell you?
I watch it for the bits of bullshit. So.
Can I tell you what? Bullshit makes the grass grow.
And
Greener.
weed grow.
Greener.
But
Everyone's trolling it.
So-
Shame.
so like our worm says, yeah. Do you know what? Everyone must do what they want.
Yeah.
It
We need
feels
more
like
shows.
what always inspired me, and I think this oak and this oak and this oak and these oaks, is that we've done these things. I started the shop because I felt a frustration with the way something was being done locally. I think we started the show because there wasn't one, which was a frustration.
That was it.
Okay? It's
Right.
not because, and this is something I've always said, if we are going to ever fire up the lights here with the intention of being the first or the best, I'm out.
Yeah, no.
Because the Oak was also speaking rightly about preserving cannabis culture. We're here just to show our slice and share our perspective on the culture and the scene. And if you make it, I promise I'll watch it because I like the marijuana essay, I like the Mlungu,
We
I
watch
like
them
the
all.
DQ Central.
DQ Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more the
We do.
better.
We want more people to do
Yeah.
shows just like this and get
Exactly.
inspired from what we do. If you think
You're
that
right.
we aren't good enough, do one better, put it out there, and let the whole country get involved.
Do a
Because
school show
there's
where you
another
teach
new
people
one,
stuff.
and I just.
There's
It
strength
was
in doing
like,
his
I watched it
webinars.
the
I
other day and
mean,
I
Yeah.
can't remember
it's
its
free.
name.
there's the,
You know
there's
what
the
I'm saying?
formal education
So
sector
that's
that
a
someone's
TV
putting
show.
out there.
That's a TV show right there. People are going to be able to rewatch it as many times as they want. When you search for it, it's going to come up through the algorithm. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you don't find the information that you want, then you put it out there.
Yeah.
If you think you
You
know
go to InfoWars.
the latest info and you're not stuck in 2000 and late, then fuck it. Put it out there then. Blow our minds.
Oh, you
So,
like
cool.
InfoWars.
We'll watch
All right.
Yeah.
We'll watch
moving
it.
on.
Yeah, so exactly, guys. I, for one, I hope that there are many shows better than ours.
And we appreciate your suggestions and criticism and stuff like that. And
Not
I mean,
gonna
as you
do it.
can see, look how offended we all were. How heartbroken we are.
We must get the
That's
viewers
probably
to make
ranged
us some
from
funny weed videos.
Eugenics down, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
we'll
my
show
dreadlocks
them.
are running away.
So, guys, please remember hashtag HotBoxShow. Vote in this week's Facebook Zol poll. Is Ganja being colonized? Have we got all the homework out the way? Is there anything left to do before we get into some
I
fun
want
stuff?
to just mention this seed drop.
Yes.
So on this Saturday at 11 o'clock at Magic Dragon,
Drop.
affiliates of ours, there's a Green Smoke Room, and friends of ours, I'm a Deadly, are doing seed drops at
Yes, the seed drop. Because I'm a deadly
Magic
seed
Dragon.
drop.
So
Yep.
that's this Saturday at 11 o'clock.
We'll post it on our
Even gonna
Instagram
be live
story.
Music, yeah.
Go
So
there
we'll
and
do a
get some
post about it.
badass seeds,
I
guys.
believe that there's even a seed drop at the Toke House. I can't remember
Awesome.
which seed companies. Sorry, Dave. But check out the Toke House as well. I know they're also doing one on Saturday. I can't remember anybody else. Yeah, that was what I wanted to say.
Nice
There
one.
we go.
I'm glad you remembered because I forgot. So, guys, before we get on to growing with my buds and talk a little bit about naming the monster plant and some of the newts we've got here, please remember to go have your say in the survey. So there's a massive survey being run by Fields of Green for All, basically to identify the sort of numbers that we're talking about in terms of cannabis's impact on our lives. You know, it's a source of income, you know. Some people use it because they have to or because they need to, not because they want to. And this asks all those questions. A lot of work has been put into this, and this is your opportunity to stand up. And yes, I think you do have to put in your ID. This is an official thing, but don't worry, I'm not going to sell it to hippo.com or any of that cuck, guys.
This is being run by a company that has this is what they do. Surveys is what they do. Social surveys, they're amazing. We've been working on this like quietly in the background since last year. It's been a huge project, and this is the biggest cannabis survey in Africa so far. And we're very, very excited to get as many people to participate as possible, so that what we do is we gather all this information so that we try and assist with making fair human rights based and like logic based fucking regulations. We've got some facts to work it on. People have given us some facts. Nobody's got this information. Everybody's trying to work on a thumbsuck.
Data. We need to gather data on it.
We need data to be able to build proper, factual, evidence-based laws.
And we don't need data like NTN needed your data.
Yeah.
There, we say data. We just need you to. This will cost you like not even a kilobyte. I don't know. Fuck.
It takes like 5 minutes.
Boom,
not
boom,
even.
boom, boom, boom. Click, click, click,
Put it
click,
on
click,
the
click,
side.
click, click,
Last
click,
week.
click. Done.
Yeah,
Do it in the toilet.
yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Quicker than that.
While you're waiting for your nudes to mix.
There we go.
My grandma did it, literally.
Nice.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope, bro.
Yeah, she's using CBD oils and like a neuropathy cream for arthritis and stuff.
And I bet Dale doesn't want to say it, but I bet she rips bigger bongs than you, dude. Not one of those ohms, eh?
No.
I bet there's some ohms out there who rip the big bongs, though, hey?
Dabbing grain.
Yeah.
Yo.
So there's a blog about it on the Fields of Green for All.org website, and please do the survey, share the survey, get everybody to participate, even if they've got no interest in cannabis. We need the data. We need all that information from as huge a slice of South Africa as possible.
Even the kind of curious.
Yeah.
Russ is
Almal van de Westhuizen.
going with this, yeah.
What does Russ say?
Oh no, I was just looking in the
You
chat.
can ask,
He's
dude.
just saying basically what is a seed drop for the previous topic. Seed drop means they're dropping, they are delivering a batch of seeds. So they'll be
Fresh.
fully stocked with all the seed range that they have of those bags that are dropping. So
And
it's
probably some
basically-
freebies as well. Because I hear freebies are going out. It's the season.
Well,
It's
that's
the
it.
season.
Bingo.
Generally, what
freebie
happens is
season.
the guy's going to go there, drop off his seeds, and possibly leave a whole lot of freebies that will be given out on that day for like promotional day.
You might meet the breeders.
Might be. You might meet the breeder. You might not.
Always
But
up on
people
the table.
generally watch for the seed drop of all breeders to make sure they're first in line because stuff sells out within 5 minutes
Yeah.
sometimes.
And it's
Gone.
some stuff's kind of limited edition, especially for the oaks who are going for those breeders packs and that nowadays, you know.
Well, of course, yeah.
Because even old Dale was saying the oaks there by him got a whole bunch of sample seeds dropped off by Royal Queen. Eh?
Yeah, OQS came and dropped off a bunch of samples. So we there's some autos and some fans. So we're kind of just giving them to the people who are supporting the brand,
Nice.
But yeah, guys, it is the time of year. Also, go check out Sativa City. We've got the Lucky Packets. We're also going to be doing a Jazz Farm / Dagga couple seed drop on the site, guys. Guys, all I can say is chronic all sorts for fuck all. Watch the space. So please remember, voting this week's poll is Ganja being colonized. But it's time for a bit of growing with my buds.
Yay.
Oh, how I have missed this. Come on, Dan. Let's check out
What
this
are we
plant.
talking about
eh?
tonight? This plant. Is this the plant? One of our plants?
This is what we're going to grow into a monster this season. We're going to try and grow this thing over 2 meters.
Should it die?
No, man. It's
camera.
adjusting.
No,
No, the
Oh, no. Sorry. Yo, I thought he said the plant died. It's like, yo.
Okay, so
Listen,
that,
can I just quickly check on Facebook? Jason says it's hard to hear. I just wanted to check. Is he going deaf or the rest of you on Facebook okay? Can you hear us?
Come in, Facebook.
Yeah.
testing 1, 2.
Calling Facebook.
5. Okay, well, this phone is not going to turn on, so we're not going to use that. That's fine.
Well, maybe they can't hear me because nobody's replying.
Okay, so
So what's the deal here? We need to name this plant. We're going to grow this thing into a monster.
this is the plant that's going to be used to grow the big monster plant that we want to do this year. Hopefully taller than the roof. So like what, 3 meters?
3 meters would be nice.
Would be great.
Yes.
3 would be nice, but it's an indica though. That's the thing.
Why?
You just hang the lights higher.
You want to make a 2 meter
So she's
indica?
been, this is a clone it looks like. I mean, how old is this thing? This tag says it was on the 15th of the 6th, it was cloned.
That was the day after my
June. So there we go. That's been growing since June, getting many internodes, got a few down here. And I'm sure now you're just going to keep this in veg.
Yeah.
Keep this in veg for as long as we can, put in a bigger pot.
Yeah.
And then we'll choose the days to when we want to put outside.
When do you think we should put
Mid-October.
it in a bigger pot?
I'll put it in a bigger pot now.
Now, hey?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that on the next episode. Let's see. By the camera, man.
No.
Yeah,
Go and see
Still
it.
good.
Longer.
Another week or two, hey dude.
No, maybe longer.
Very still the roots can still travel a lot. So you can still, this plant can get like triple the size in this pot essentially.
Okay.
Triple to 4 times the size, can get like this big inside you if you
Can
start
fall
topping it
over
and
every
really
day.
feed it fast and often. You're gonna be good.
And what should I be feeding it at this stage?
Well, you want to try and get, if you're going to put into an organic base, I would start going the organic route.
Okay.
But it's also hard in a small pot.
Oops, I didn't fit it.
Well,
I think this is cocoa, yeah. So this is
Yeah.
in cocoa.
So
So this is being fed synthetic nutrients the whole time. But you want to put into like a big pot of, say, Freedom Farm soil,
yeah, I'm thinking Freedom Farms.
because then it can
Yeah.
start, let it
Yeah.
really root, expand its root zone and just set itself in a bigger pot for the
Yeah.
next, what we got, 2 months.
Because that thing won't be able to suck water from a big pot. You will still have to feed it very.
Oh yeah. This is we
Yeah.
want to root bound this pot first before putting it into the next pot, so that there's no
Then it
problem.
can go.
Yes. So yeah,
So, Freedom Farms,
Freedom Farms. and
maybe a
use,
bit of BioBiz.
No, use Freedom Farms nutrients. Freedom Farms.
Oh, they've got
They
nutrients
use their
now.
probiotic line. They've got
Okay.
the probiotic mix, and they've got the fire juice,
The
and they
fire
and their own
juice.
kelp, a kelp mix. So use their own stuff, and that'll be the best you could do for their bags, and use their amendments to it.
It turns out that I am 2000 and late. I did not know that Freedom Farms had more than the fire juice and soil now.
Right on it.
Yeah, no, they are there.
Yeah, that fire juice words.
Yeah. But I also know,
Fire
don't
juice
spill
works.
the fire juice, especially on yourself, eh? Because, ooh.
Dogs will love you.
Ooh. And we also got some samples here of some new nutrient that's pulling in on the SA market. I don't know if it's for sale yet or what the deal is, but I see they've got a site and all that going. And the guys at GT Hydro were kind enough to give me these samples.
It's called bud juice. Nice. Have a look.
Yeah, there's the TNT.
What is it?
Oh.
Yeah. The 1
Bud juice.
411.
So it's a 412, which is your veg, which is one of the green lid. Or other way,
Yeah.
sorry. And then you got your bloom, which it says bloom
Yeah.
on it, and 1411.
1411.
Yeah. Nice fancy packaging, fancy packaging sells.
And I see it's quite strong. You use it at like 1 mil per litre. But I don't think it's organic,
2 mils
is
per
it?
litre, 2.5, 4,
Yeah.
2.5.
Same as fire juice.
It's a very low organic. This is an organic feed.
Is it organic feed?
Yes.
And they're
Okay.
interesting people too, permaculturists.
I mean, when you say organic, it's got a base of humics and fulvics. So it is an organic essentially, but it's got an NPK ratio in it as well. So yeah, those are some cool nutrients. Great.
Man.
People must try and get nutrients into the country, or we get them do more. But the problem is our Department of Agriculture and Forestry and Agriculture, is an absolute nightmare to try and register any kind of nutrient or any kind of range. It's an absolute, it's a waste of time.
It's a bit of a.
If you aren't willing to sit and deal with the rubbish that they have. It takes
It'll
work.
cost a lot.
Yeah.
Such a pity.
There's a pile this big of every single person, obviously trying to bring in every other nutrient or international brand over because you can have a look at the plant there.
But it's wonderful that there's so much available because once upon a time there was nothing available. But we're also finding out a lot though that some things don't necessarily have to have always been geared towards weed for you to get it right. You can really get a lot right with just the small things that you can get from the nursery and that. But it is wonderful that there's almost too much choice now when it comes to weed nutrients, man.
Yeah, it's not to say that you must go and get these nutrients that are being, that are expensive. You can grow plants with what is on the shelf. Remember, these aren't freaks. They're not like aliens. They take the same food as every other plant, just in different ratios. So yeah, there it is. There, nice plant.
What's the strain name?
So yeah, that's the big question. What should we name the monster plant?
We can call it whatever we want.
No.
Sure.
Exactly.
This is, I think, it's a DMT Kush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Vincent Van Gogh.
So we should call it Joe Rogan.
If it
Don't
gets,
Rogan.
No broken.
so quite a few branches. We'll try and get those to grow really healthy. Yeah. I wonder if any of the viewers have started growing theirs. What have we got here?
Yeah, has anyone started growing the monster? Is anyone going big this season at home, hey?
Jason's asking, has anybody tried swamp juice? I've seen swamp juice going around.
I've seen that. That's also another local one that's
And I've
started.
been wanting to get hold of them actually. Sorry, I haven't. But I've been wanting to get hold of them to see if we could get some stuff in to have a look.
And also to speak to some of the guys.
Yeah, dudes, because
Green Garden Goblin says transplant into a 10 litre now will give the roots serious space to stretch before it goes in the ground. Yep, you want to get some big roots and get the plant like 5-10 times bigger than this. As big as you can get it, and then stick it outside.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll give it a little bit more care, and then hopefully next week we'll be able to do that. Repot live on air with you. Hopefully have like all the nice supplements, the micro roots, do everything we can and give this maximum effort.
Yeah.
But I do feel like now this thing does need to start going into the sun more. I've been very gentle because this was a clone. I've noticed with clones, if you throw them straight into the sun, they
Problems.
don't always do well.
Yeah, problems. You can't do that.
So I have been I've been climatizing this thing by gently each day taking it out into the sun a little bit, just keeping it under a light on my desk at night just to make it feel like the day's longer and things like that. But I do feel like we are going to have to get it under a big light now, hey Dan? Like what would I now need to keep this going?
Not a big light.
Not a big light,
No.
eh? So just outside with a light
With
or
a
what?
light. With a LED spotlight, very low wattage, like a 50 watt could even work. 600 watt maybe.
Okay.
As long as it's above it and it's giving those extra daylight hours, and it doesn't have to run for long either. You're just
Alright.
extending the daylight hours. That's all you're doing.
And is it warm enough for me to put it outside now?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's just some
Your
strong
plants aren't
winds
frosting over, are they? Outside.
No.
Then it's fine.
There's just strong wind at the moment.
We must also remember, we can't think that we now put them outside and they're going to freak out and die because of the weather's a bit too cold. It's just a matter of the light hours that you want to
It's
start.
not under 0 this week. I checked today.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
6, 7 at night.
I mean, if you got frost, don't do it.
Yeah.
If you got frost, don't put that plant outside.
And I've also noticed, because a lot of people are doing this thing where they start the plants indoors and take them out, is just be gentle, because you don't want to put the plant in a situation where it stresses and pauses its growth for 2-3 weeks,
Or
So I
changes
think-
its gender.
Yeah, because that changes its gender. I'm not saying you're not allowed to. Those are not words you'll hear from my mouth.
Not
Especially
telling
not if you're a
rules.
wheat plant.
But ideally, we would like to keep this ball free and seed free.
Ideally.
So what's the verdict on the knuckle genetics so far?
That second
Sure,
one
we've
is
had all
fine.
4, and I'm still number 2.
Number 2
Yeah.
so far. That's the
Yeah.
one that had all the colour, the little purple
Yeah,
bud
it
that had
was
all
so
that colour.
tasty.
The
It
two
had a
double
lot
ones,
of
yeah.
flavour.
So tasty.
I'll say this much. Judging by how much the conversation has slowed
Yeah.
YouTubers are a lot
down.
bouncier.
No, you can tell we just got
I can tell everyone's got quiet chat. Buzz is tugging along, eh? So what we're going to name this thing? Are we going to name it Dope Rogan? Any suggestions on the chat? Any suggestions
Incredible
from you
Bulk.
folks?
No, not something American.
Not something American, eh?
Keep it local.
Alright. Give it bud juice. Go with the green garden goblin says give it bud juice. We're gonna give it all the chutters. We're gonna make sure this thing is growing at its optimum.
Yeah, so maybe it is one of those recipes. Because I remember it's lacquer, Dan does it with the chips. Sometimes it's lacquer just to mix all the things together. Put the Smarties with the Rascals.
Yeah.
Live large.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to, anyone who sends us shit, we're going to use it. We're going to use it, we'll make a little effort, and we're going to get to a point where we are not going to be able to bring this thing in. And we'll have to
Oh
go
no,
take...
we'll have to do shots outside.
Yeah, dude.
If we
We
want
have to
this,
actually pre-fucking film things for a change.
I mean, guys have done it before where they grow the plants on like pallets, and then they have like a pallet lift that they take it out of the greenhouse after a while, and then put it in the ground. So they make them so big that they need a forklift almost to pick it up and take it out, and then they put it outside.
That's
and
why
then
the fabric bags are nice. You just put it on the ground there.
Yeah.
Keep it off the ground, and you just put it on the ground or bury it halfway in the ground.
Josie Kush, J. Rogan, call it the C word. Are you joking?
Okay, we'll call it the
Being
C
done.
word.
No, like he literally wrote it.
No, bro.
So you're sure this is going to be a huge tree?
Yeah. Herb was saying here about how you watch the videos on how to cage them. That's what we're hoping we're going to be able to do. We're going to have to put the 110 floor reinforcements, the mesh for the floor, you wrap it around this plant. 2 of them. That's how big we're going with this bad boy.
Or I'm going to try and sell you oats
Girl.
on night.
Girl. It's not a bad boy, this is a girl.
A bad girl.
This bad girl.
I see someone says Afrikush Jack's beanstalk.
Jack's beanstalk, yeah.
Call her Hope.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I hope she gets massive, eh? I hope she gets massive. So, guys, I'm going to put this thing under a little bit of light still in that. But I think it is time that it needs to harden up, get under the sun, and get growing. Because spring is not far away.
It's not far
And
away.
I know a lot of you also going to want to plant spring day. Buzz's top tip of the week. Maybe October's better. You know, October's
This year, especially
really
because
good
it's a
time.
very cold winter.
It takes a while for the sun also to get going.
You can also just be technical and go online and check the hours of the daylights on the website and find out how many hours we're at right where we are, and we can work with
ley
that
line.
and then start
Well, that's what you should
maximizing, make it efficient. You know, don't just thumb suck and think, it could be here. We have Google.
What
Well,
about
use
it's
it.
just like
Lots
full
of air.
moon October?
Even just Sky Tracker.
Hmm.
Sky Tracker will also tell you when exactly is the sun coming over your neighbor's house, and also when it's setting over the big tree in your
Alright.
backyard.
Mm.
So if you Sky Track
So
the
in
sun,
your zone.
then you can jump to summer
Skytrack.
or at any date in the future, and it'll tell you exactly where the sun is going to run.
Sky tracker, eh?
Yeah, I was just
Skytracker.
about to say, anytime after equinox is also fine. As soon as the changes
Yeah,
of the light hours,
Christmas.
we need to
Christmas,
start going longer.
You can harvest on Christmas and flip on Christmas.
Mm.
No issues. Christmas is the best day.
What's also very cool is Green Smoke Room did a dope grow calendar. It's not the most scientific one, but it shows you when you should be planting, when it should be in veg, when it should be in flower, and when you should be expecting to harvest. You
And
can
how do you get it?
at the Heiko or at Green Smoke Room.
Aha.
So if you search Cannabis Grow Calendar South Africa, we come up number 1. I promise. It's right
It's a
there.
great calendar. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really simple. It's really simple, guys. But your guys should be starting to spend your money, hey? Spend your money at Green Smoke. Spend it at Trophies. Spend it at Biltong and Buds. Spend it at what other seed oaks have we got? So many.
I don't know who gives us our Rizzler.
This is also a good practice, a good practice round for if this shitty bill goes ahead with what it says and how we're going to plant limits. This is how you got to do your plant limits, guys. Make them big.
Yeah.
Make them as
Yeah.
big as you can. Don't fuck around. Make them as big as they possibly can grow. If they say you can only have so much.
Flip it New Year's.
We're not going. We don't want that to happen, but
We are going to carry on fighting for our rights.
Because it also it's the year
bill
where
is not
neighbours.
going to happen.
Sorry,
This bill is not going to happen.
I hope not.
It's
The
not
bill's
happening.
contentious, eh,
It
guys.
is not happening.
That's a delayed tactic.
It is not happening.
It's smoke and mirrors.
As soon as it's open for public, we must all just
It is
submit.
not happening. The trial of the plant is happening.
Obviously,
That's
the
what's
petition will be
Mhm.
submitted, but if everyone, just as a person with your ID number, you go to the government and you say, listen, I don't agree with this, because that's what they're saying. It's like, listen, we want to do this. It's your right to go say, I don't want this for X, Y, and Z. So
do it.
To have your say.
that's
Yeah.
much better than voting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is crazy times. Also, I think September isn't it the month to remember because we hear what happens.
This is it.
Yeah,
18th.
this is the
Yeah,
thing.
we're all kind of really holding our breath right now for this. I honestly don't even know what to think. It's hard to think that far ahead at the moment because it's so big a thing to comprehend what may or
Far
may
ahead,
not
two-
happen.
2 weeks away.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
that's what I'm saying. It feels so far away because it's so big.
And I've seen only negative press.
Which was this?
Only.
About the bill though.
Yeah.
Ah.
Only negative opinions.
Yeah, I haven't even seen DFL say we like the bill. Or maybe they did. Sorry, DFL bots, if you're listening. Askis. Yeah, the bill's I don't know, guys. Fuck. I hope it's not the bill. Sign the petition. Do the survey. You know, it's that last push. I don't know what more to say than we're right at the
I
end
think
here.
that as soon as they
Yeah,
open
way.
up for public comment, we will blog about it. We will give you links. We will
Yeah,
explain
make
what
it
to
available.
do, and just do it.
Just go comment,
soon as we
guys.
can,
Comment.
just
You
do
have to
it.
comment. You
Yeah.
have. The more people that comment, it means there's more.
And do the survey. The survey is a
Every
big
time we get an
influencer.
email, what
Yeah.
can I do? That's what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The survey is a good one.
Please,
So that
huge.
survey is going to make a difference, just like the petition.
Yeah.
Huge.
Everyone counts.
So, guys, before
Very
we get on to Instagram, please remember to vote in this week's Zol poll. Is Ganja being colonized? Sad but true. They'll never take our freedom. Or, I forgot.
They're colonizing us.
Ganja's colonizing
Smoke
us.
more weed. You'll remember.
Nice one.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
Thanks, Ben. So, we're just gonna
Idaho.
do- The Heiko.
Someone giving a shout out.
Ooh. Ooh, guys, please. Bongs and blunts, courtesy of the Heiko. Go check us out for your high end, your raws, your lacquer gear, a bit of boutique this, a bit of boutique that, and one day if the bill goes well, your weed too. We also got Kif seeds. We're going to be doing those Dagga couple seeds, jazz farm seeds, chronic, all sorts, doing Albert to raise a buck. Go check out the GoFundMe. Big thank you to Jaye. Big thank you to Lux. A big thank you to every one of you who even put in €1. It makes a difference.
It counts.
Yeah, a lot of guys just giving 20 euros, 30 euros. You can see it's.
€5.
Yeah.
It counts.
Yeah,
It counts, and
and-
we are grateful.
And it's worth more in South
for us
African
here in
rand for
Africa,
us.
it's major.
And complete the survey. It's quicker than smoking a joint.
Yeah, literally.
Go check out the new swag. It'll be on the Fields of Green shop soon. The link's down below. And we're going to talk a little bit about Instagram, but shout out to all the affiliates who put their money where their mouth is. There's a lot of small brands and big brands in South Africa who donate on the rig to Fields of Green. The views on this show are not the views of these guys. This is just us blowing off steam. But please go check them out in the link. There's all sorts, support industries, webinars, all the things you could imagine, things you don't even know that you need to know.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Fantastic.
129.
Sacred Seeds. Chris, he says he's done the survey already. Thank
Yeah.
you, brother. Thank you so much.
High five, Chris.
Thank you.
Nice one, dude. And then I know that Chris J is also sending in some dank beans courtesy of we.co.za that he says are gas. And then I'm going to help him flip for the cause too. So guys, Sativa City is going to be having the spring drop and all that.
Nice.
But Instagram is growing into something. And like Pikachu evolves into Raichu, we now need to make a decision. Are we going to stick with Pikachu or do we want to go to Raichu? Because the hashtag is maybe not the solution anymore.
What do you mean, an account or something?
I'm thinking, and maybe, I think Charles likes the idea. You tell us too, Charles. I've spoken too much. I need to
We
smoke
can just
more.
use the HotBoxShow tag, our profile tag, so people can tag us in their photos instead of using the hashtag. Then you automatically appear on our profile.
So not a hashtag, an at.
An at.
At mention us.
There we go.
So at
Tag us in your
Tag
pic.
us in your pics.
Yeah, tag us at, not a hashtag. Because they block the hashtag, but they can't block us from
But
looking at
then
what we've been
being
tagged in our
tagged, yeah.
profile.
What do you guys think though? We can let the hashtag live on forever, but in terms of the comp and for everyone's sanity, and I'm tired of being shadow banned by Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
like, should we just do the tag thing?
Shall we try it out for a week?
Should we
For
try
this
it?
week.
Let's try it for a week.
From today until next Thursday. Let's try it
You
out
can
for a
even
week.
make a logo available to them, and they have to put the logo on their photo and tag us.
Sure. That's the question.
No,
We could do anything.
We can figure it out. We
To
can
help
figure it
it.
out, yeah.
because otherwise it can just become a fuck up.
Mm.
If you just tag people, it's
So this is what we need to decide. if we
Even
wanna
with,
go
like, with the
2.0,
hashtag.
If we want to
what's the post thing?
You can untag yourself, but you cannot remove a
So
hashtag.
would we be able to maybe like make a Insta filter so that they've got the option of using the filter that adds our logo in a specific place?
I'm not too. We can do it or not.
I don't know.
I'm
that's
happy if Oaks tag
On the
us
website.
if we're allowed to. I'm putting it out there. This isn't just a me
the
decision. This is a us decision and a yours decision.
Because the other one is they just all send it to us on an email.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no, it's-
no,
that's
no,
not
it's
gonna
old
it's
happen.
not gonna happen. It's like sending a fax.
It's too long to go through them all when
It's
we do
difficult
this
with open
Instagram.
gates.
What? Let's go look. Has anyone tagged us
That's cool.
before? Let's
That's
see what
very, very
tags look
cool.
like. Just now or now.
So, do you
Yeah,
have
but
lights
it-
under the plants as well?
No,
No.
No,
you want it to
this plant
turn
will
up.
turn up.
Yeah.
you want it to turn up.
It's going to turn up once it takes again. It'll turn up and start growing upwards.
Or you take it to one side and up
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you can.
Like they do tomatoes like this quite often. You just
You
water
can
them.
start
I've
with
seen
laying
it
it
small.
down first,
Yeah.
and then let it just wait for it to twink, and then you can hang it. It'll fucking go.
Cool.
And does the yield increase?
Oh, that's so pretty.
No, I don't think the yield increases
It's more,
when upside down. It's just
Oh.
an ornamental thing.
Ornamental hanging plant.
So what
Saves
feed
more
are we going to
space.
look at? Hashtag HotBoxShow.
I think we're looking at the
ZA.
hashtag Hotbox Show right now. Eh?
Yeah.
We should do the one with ZA, because that's the one we asked them to.
No, but that was 2 weeks ago.
I don't know what to say. That's what I'm saying. We need to make a decision about Insta your gram because it's a bit scattered right now. It'd be nice to pick it and stick it.
Yeah.
Do both of them.
They do. Held.
Maybe we can bring in the second one.
So, what's the link again?
Maybe we can bring in the second one.
Charles, the link for the survey.
In the description.
Or over our social media. In the description.
Busy. It's going to be very busy.
Nice
Two people
tunes,
slowly.
fully grown.
Right.
What does this have to do
Keep
with
scrolling up, right? They can be at different stages.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Because of jarring. See if we can synchronize it. Synchronize it.
Some guys.
Yeah, maybe. Hungry.
Looks
Wow,
looks
I just-
juicy. I could do it.
I can smell it actually.
Yeah.
Yo, oaks are early, hey?
Can I read a message while we watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been watching your show for a while and you guys are doing really amazing things. Fire. We are impressed and we would love to have some of our products on your show. Can we send you some samples? Please do. We love samples.
Yes, please.
We'll give it a shit or lit.
So go to our website, hotboxshow.co.za, and you will find a contact us button there somewhere, link, and then click that, and that will send us an email.
That's from Broccoli Sweets.
And that's how you can get hold of us to find out how to send us stuff. We'd love to review everybody's things. Please send us stuff.
And what I've been doing in the background here is because we've been getting so many love
Bazooka.
and free stuff things, I packed a crazy amount of freebies to go out to everyone.
There's like goodie bags here. There's about 20 of them and counting.
Yeah, there was a mini production factory here earlier.
Because it's been that busy that we're just like, it's gotta go, it's gotta go. How's the dankness looking there, Dan?
Fudge.
That
Yo,
was
man.
beautiful.
It's light,
Say on
eh?
top there.
Amnesia.
Amnesia, eh?
I bet it does.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hash, yeah.
That's a lekker Sunday afternoon there,
Nice
Alex.
As always, we've got some really nice photos.
Yeah.
Yo, frosty and tight, eh?
It's like a bouquet.
Yes. Nice mulch.
No. Keep it warm.
Your perps to the max, eh?
Yes. Cold.
Cold F.
I assume this will be
What happened to our cheesy tunes, man? We forgot. Man. It's too late, though, hey.
We did.
Sorry, guys. We realized we
No,
get
you
a bit
did.
weird. Yeah,
Did you?
it's the same one. I haven't thought of anything new.
It's gone rich and nice, but
No, it's cool. Because we zone out to the bud porn here, folks. It's
A
just
little
like
bit.
it's a trance, and especially when we're so grilled at the end here. I hope you guys are grilled at. Last chance to vote in the poll. It's Ganja being colonized.
So
Yo, bro. PM.
straight PM.
Yeah, that's straight.
Space monkey. Spray that.
Send your PM to my DM, man. That was dope, eh?
We want that PM.
Because it's going to be an epic summer, hey guys. Winter coming to an end. I think we're looking forward to a banging summer, but I don't want to jinx it. The Bay, sure, bro.
Well, I think that this summer will be the most growers growing in South Africa ever.
Oh, those colours.
It's very, very, very colourful. Eh?
What's the link again? Someone's asking for the survey.
It's on the fieldsofgreenforall.org.za website.
Yeah,
Fields of Green for All is your main hub. Go there, you got everything.
Everything about us there and on the Hotbox Show website.
what we've done is we've also put all the links in the description below, and it's got the links for all our guests in that, as well as the survey. So if you go check it out there, you'll see it's the fieldsofgreen.org.za and the South African Cannabis Survey. And it really is. It's not a mission to complete. Red Rose, eh? Yo,
We all grew up on that shit. Come on.
can't complain, eh?
Was that MP3 you sent?
And came back to save
Yeah.
many people in lockdown.
It's not the end though, so you don't have to worry.
Came back in fashion quickly.
Yeah, some guys were even selling old Riz without the glue.
Yo,
Yeah,
a lot of lick to stick, eh?
Nice.
complaining.
I like that. That's the kind of joint you really get high on.
So apparently that joint origami dude who won the
This is
other
him.
week,
This is him.
James
he reached out and
Cannabis.
said he's gonna hit us
send
up
us
with,
some joints apparently.
Yo,
Yeah.
cool.
that's dope, dude.
Dope, dude.
Send us the
maybe-
plane so we can get sky high.
And instructions on how to light the thing. It's not that complicated.
Which end is
Hey,
which?
bring your passport, guys.
Oh, that's cool.
And your parachute.
That is cool.
Yeah, silver ball.
There's so much dope local content, eh,
There
guys?
really
Yeah.
is.
You know, that guy is right. For a little while, I have been kind of feeling old in the scene. Because I can't keep up with this strain and the church. Not even the church is old. But everything's so white, and then white is old, and then the cake is old, and then the banana is old, and then the kana is old. I don't know how to keep up anymore.
There's some nudity.
Oh. And that's
It's
ready.
probably,
Ready to harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, click on the nudity.
It's a generic photo. You can.
This is a
That's,
family show, Charles.
that's,
No, we don't appreciate
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
We don't appreciate
Far
misogyny.
They don't
fuck's
share their own
sakes.
photos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
gotta
hit
take
that
original
down.
shit.
Yeah, that's a nice naked photo.
I suppose
I'll
that's
hit
the
pretty
better one.
much most
That's
dabs,
original.
to be honest.
I couldn't see it in the group.
Mm.
Don't know.
This is it. Not original.
Did I say it?
We do a check.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
no,
Yeah.
Make it through
Somebody
with
got
that.
somebody
Is that
out
what
like
you-
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yes, those things are
somebody-
easy. I love those plugs.
The bazooka.
Yeah, they were rolling that in some nice, awesome bottom grinder keef.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keef,
Ooh.
dry sift,
He's been
Hash.
saving that
hash,
for months.
That one.
Chips.
It's that one.
Unrefined terps.
I mean, what is keef? Keef is keef, right?
Keef is Keef.
Keef, keef.
I think for me, Keith
Yeah.
comes through himself. So
Yeah.
There we go.
That's
there we go.
tight.
Keef is like the highest unclean
Yes,
product
you see how
essentially. It's the
frosty it
top.
is.
Mechanical
it's the-
separation,
It's
bro.
the top shake,
should be.
Yeah.
Should be. A vibrating
and
table
then you
or something.
shopper through the screens and you get your different levels.
Guys, I don't even know even who's picking the winner tonight. It's too
Oh wow.
much.
Look at that.
Tropicana cookies.
Shit,
Hey?
no, I'm not sure.
Mine looks
The
like that.
champagne.
Champagne.
The
Champagne.
bottle sniffed.
That's from Ontario, so we can't
No,
really.
also stolen shit.
Sorry, we're not going to send to you.
No chicken dinner.
No.
For tech.
Mm.
No, don't for tech, dude. Even the Oki sent us that comment. We hear you, dude. You know, this is just
Beautiful.
live and unpredictable.
That's a nice picture.
Sunday.
Some oaks are gonna smoke their fucking brains out, eh? Yo, dude.
No man, shows that farmland there.
Okay.
It's that prepping work. going
This
on
is Motherland Genetics, these guys that are out in the wild.
There we
They
go.
won a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Nice, dude. That fence isn't gonna keep the neighbors out, eh?
It makes it private though.
It's very pretty.
Mm.
A neighbor.
Give him a joint, he'll be laughing all night.
Yeah.
Space. Every inch of space.
Yo, I hear watch the space. Big things coming in the local LED scene, but I can't say more than that.
Better be well priced.
Gerbert the gardener.
Yo, dude.
Yo.
Gonna burn a hole in your shirt.
Yes, man.
Well done, dude. Well done, dude.
Nice.
Nice job, bro.
Okay, we'll light that whole thing up.
It's like a pipe, but it's a joint.
Dope F, bro. Yeah.
Dave.
Very cool. Yeah, this is a very cool photo.
Nice.
So guys, while we make up our minds on the winner, absolute last chance to vote in this week's Zoll poll. You say it's an electron microscope, eh?
Microscope, yeah.
See the cat hair.
Sorry, go back.
I see the hair on the cat
Cat
hair.
hair there.
Take there on the bottom, right?
Cat hair there.
Goodness, what's that?
That's trichome,
Electron microscope, yeah.
or like a pistol,
Pistol, yeah.
calyx.
Calyx, sorry.
Just leave it open, dude.
420 mix.
Nice.
How do you smoke it?
Not yet, though. Hey? No, it is. Magic Dragon.
Don't
Oh.
smoke it, follow. Don't
Bottom
smoke
mix.
that dirt, eh?
What is that?
Secret recipe.
90 round a bag.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
How many liters?
That you DM.
Smoke
And that's
that.
it.
I'd smoke that.
So I
Cool,
like the
man.
one with the lizard on right up at the top.
Okay.
The one with the lizard was dope. Is it original though?
I hope so.
That's the big question.
Let us go to the top. Come on, Mr. Lizard.
We'll get the tunes back next week, folks. Send us your suggestions for free ones.
Mr. Lizard was cool.
There we go.
Great shot.
That's dope.
Mr.
But is it?
Bud.
You can even see in the lizard's eyeball
The reflection.
of the guy taking the photo.
Yeah. There we go.
Yo.
Focus is on.
Quality.
So it's good photo.
Excellent photo.
I really want it to be that
Out
one.
focus.
Is it legit though?
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
is.
mean?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan, the three-legged gecko on aphid duty.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And that's
Yo.
from Mr. McBird.
It's pretty,
He's
Yeah.
a private personal grower, nothing for sale, as per the Concord ruling.
Nice.
Nice.
Local.
Local F.
Yep, there is.
Lacquer.
Local
Yay,
is Danker.
Congratulations. I will
Nice indoor
hit you up in
tent.
the DMs.
Oh,
Very
look at that
cool.
training there. Big.
So, dude, please slide into our DMs or we'll slide into your DMs. We'll send you one of these bags full of
Oh,
random ganja stuff. Herb not included.
There you go. Cool.
as per Concord ruling.
As per Concord. So,
It is.
guys, before we get to the results of this week's Zoll poll, it's been lekker hanging out with all of you. It's been lekker blowing off steam. I personally feel quite grilled. I
Yeah,
feel like I feel like I got stuck in third gear for a while there.
But
it's-
sleep like a baby.
Big thank you to Knuckle. Big thank you to Big A for the peanut butter. Big thank you to Cheeba. Big thank you to Lou. Guys, it was a jam-packed show. At the beginning, I was like, "Fuck, how are we gonna get through all this?" But we did. Nice.
We did.
We
We
did
did,
it.
hey?
We did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's got the poll results?
I got the poll results.
So the question was, is cannabis being colonized? The answers were sad but true. They'll never take our freedom. Or ganja is colonizing us.
So on Sad But True, we've got 13%. On Ganja Colonized Us, we've got 17%.
Okay.
So at 70%, we've got They can't take our freedom!
Guys, please support those who support legalization for all. Go check out the brands that do everything. There's so much going on. It's really a great time to be alive in a weird way. But also, like, share, subscribe, stay lit. Have
Stay
I
safe.
forgot anything?
Choose happy.
Grow your own.
Yeah.
Help us choose the name for
Give us
Dope
a
Rogan.
competition.
I say Dope
Do the
Rogan.
survey.
Dope Rogan.
Hope Rogan.
Hope
Rogan.
Rogan.
No, fuck America.
Hope Rogan.
Hope Rogan.
But it's American. It's Kush, man.
Who cares? It's
Growing.
growing in Africa.
Yeah.
Hope
Fuck
growing.
it. It's not fucking American. At
Let's
all.
call it Ubuntu. I don't know.
Ubuntu.
I don't know, Oaks. Please.
Makulukulu.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Drew. I don't know. Help us make this decision, guys. And please leave some comments after the fucking show, too.